Hi, folks, and welcome to the Mike Lopez TV Show. I'm your host, AC Mike. We'll bring you all things Atlantic City, politics, sports, dining, entertainment, and so much more. Our first guest for tonight is Karen Martin, Director of Marketing and Communications with the CRDA. Next up, we'll have Diane Spiers, Marketing and Public Relations for Bally's Corporation. And we'll close out the show with Harrison Williams and Nicole Callazzo, the folks from Tennessee Avenue, the Orange Loop. So stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. Our next guest is Karen Martin, Acting Director for Marketing and Communications for the CRDA, which is the Casino Reinvestment Development Authority. Karen, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Mike, for having me today to talk about Atlantic City Restaurant Week.
Yeah, so again, one of my favorite things to do, whether it's in Atlantic City or anywhere, but of course, Restaurant Week is such a special time of the year. We're going to talk about that in a minute or two. Karen, let the folks know at home a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name's Karen Martin. I do live locally down here now for the past probably 40 years. I've worked in the casinos for part of my career, and then most recently with the Convention and Visitors Authority and CRDA.
And the CRDA, their function is to beautify the city, events, and whether it was the pandemic or what went on, you guys have a big hand in the city, and we couldn't be more happy that you're in the city with us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's get to this Restaurant Week. Listen, I think we're on year 14, 15, 20, I don't know. Talk to us about that and the inception and how this was thought of.
Mike, you are correct. This is the 14th year for Atlantic City Restaurant Week, and we're always excited to be able to present that to Atlantic City's residents and visitors. It started back in 2009, and you never know what you're going to get from year to year. Some new restaurants open, and we're happy to be able to offer that as part of our repertoire for Atlantic City Restaurant Week. There are 57 restaurants participating this year. And we're just excited with the diversity of the cuisines that visitors and everyone else will get to sample.
And that's one of the beautiful things, not that I was going to take this interview that way, but the uniqueness of Restaurant Week in Atlantic City itself. Small town, 48 blocks, as everyone knows, that watches this show or listens to our radio show on WOND. But, you know, whether it's American, Italian, Afghan, French, talk to us about that a little bit. I mean, what a great, choice for people to have, whether it's lunch or dinner.
You're very right. And just the variety of cuisines that are offered in Atlantic City is probably second to no one. There are a lot of ethnic restaurants that participate, and the cuisine is just divine. There's always steak and seafood and Italian, so I think we offer something that will please pretty much any palate.
And there you go. I mean, one of my favorite places, newer to the city, is Satara, French and Afghan. We got, the Vietnamese, Italian. I could go on and on. The Doherty's, when you say steak and seafood in Atlantic City, how can you not think of what they do? So let's talk about the event itself. It's a 3-course dinner and lunch. There is a price. We'll talk about that down the road. But tell us, the folks, how that works. And again, the time period.
So it's October 2nd through the 7th this year. And the lunch and dinner menus all feature 3-course menus. So you get an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert, or a choice of appetizers, entrees, or dessert. And you can go to www.acrestaurantweek.com to find out menus and which restaurants are offering lunch or dinner and what days that they are participating.
And 57 of them, folks. Listen, make sure you get to ACrestaurantweek.com. Again, here we are into 2022. Take us back a little bit, what it was like last year, and then, the change of date. We've talked about a little bit pre-interview. Talk a little bit about that with the folks.
Sure. It was originally an idea that came to help drive visitation in the shoulder season for Atlantic City. And March seemed to be the agreed upon time back then. So for the first 12 years, we did hold it the first week of March. We encountered a few difficulties weather-wise back then, but we were always still able to pull it off. Then, of course, in 2020, we were able to get Restaurant Weekend right before everything shut down. So when it came time to plan for 2021, we didn't want to not offer this great event to everyone. And we polled our restaurant partners and some of our visitors and asked if it would make sense if we could move it to October, because at the time we really didn't know what was going on as the rest of the world. So the decision was made to move it to October. So we did hold it in October in 2021. And again, it was very successful, and our partners all seemed to agree that was a good time of year for them to be able to concentrate on offering this value for Atlantic City Restaurant Week menus.
Then that's awesome. So again, to be able to figure it out with so many different restaurants and whatnot, and to be able to put it together, I mean, I'm sure this is not a one-woman thing. You got a nice team that you work with.
Absolutely.
How was the cooperation with all the restaurants? Because let's face it, COVID, normally just be busy, right? I mean, if it wasn't that, staffing, that sort of thing, putting a menu together. How was it to work with some of these folks?
Well, this has been a difficult year, a couple of years for our restaurants. So we do understand that they're facing a lot of issues with staffing and with food prices, supply chain issues. We could go on and on, but the restaurants that are participating really do their best. A lot of them use locally sourced, seasonable items, so the menus really come out really great. So we're hoping everyone will take a chance and try something new. Go to your favorite, but it is a great opportunity. You mentioned many cuisines that we do have available in Atlantic City and that are participating. So maybe take the chance and try a new food if you're so moved.
And that's the way I've, being of Latino, background and whatnot. So I was cool with the Latin food and our American food and whatnot. But moving to Atlantic City, I wasn't brought to, the Vietnamese food and the Afghan, and not that I didn't try it, but it's so there. And I encourage our viewers to please take Karen's suggestion. Get out there. I know we all have our regular places that we love and whatnot, but there are so many options here that your head will spin off. And I mean, I'm going to even go through some of these restaurants. I mean, Boca, it's not just Atlantic City too. That's what I want you to hit on too.
Mike, that's a great point. It is Atlantic City Restaurant Week, but we do represent restaurants throughout the region, from Ventnor, Egg Harbor Township.
Right.
And it is a regional event, and I think people have an opportunity to get out there and try new foods, or go to your favorites, or do both. It's a week-long event, so there's plenty of time to try them all.
And there it is, folks. We got about 30 seconds left of this interview. Listen, AtlanticCityRestaurantWeek.com. One more time.
ACRestaurantWeek.com.
There you go, ACRestaurantWeek.com. Coming October
2nd through the 7th.
I put you on the spot. She's got it. Listen, stay right where you're at. We'll be right back with our next guest. Welcome back to the show. Our next guest is Diane Spiers, Marketing Strategy and PR at Bally's Corporate. Welcome to the show, Diane.
Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate you coming on out here all the way to the Galloway campus. Listen, let the folks know a little bit before we get into Restaurant Week and what's happening at Bally's Atlantic City. Let the folks know a little bit about you, please.
Sure. I'm Diane Spiers, and as you said, I work for Bally's Corporation. I have been there for about 2 years. We oversee 14 properties. We were just separated from another parent company, so we're Bally's Corporation. Some people feel that we're just Bally's, and there's 14 properties. So I'm happy to be a part of the team. The team is operated by Michael Monty, he's our general manager, and our chief marketing officer is Phil Giuliano. So it's a new team, a strong team, and really a lot of opportunities for the city for us to be there.
And we're so happy that you're with us here in Atlantic City. And you spoke about those two gentlemen, you know, see them on the boardwalk all the time. Mr. Giuliano walking around, whatnot, you know, and he'll be on this show actually. But you got some great names there. Diane, tell us a little bit of, you said 14 properties. Let the folks know that the magnitude of that, some of the locations. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I'm sure you know them.
It's great. North, south, east, and west. So we're in Rhode Island, we're in Dover, Delaware. We are in Biloxi, Mississippi, Shreveport, Louisiana, Lake Tahoe, Kansas City, and other locations as well.
That's awesome. And one of the cool things about the 6th floor over there at Bally's, you have a map. Is it on the 6th floor of the different locations out there? So if any of you folks want to know exactly where they're at, they're all over the place if you're doing some traveling. Listen, let's talk about what's going on that 6th floor and that building in general. I mean, the great dining, Jerry Longo's Meatballs and Martinis brings a smile to my face. And with some of the characters you got in there too. Guy Fieri's Chop House, right? The Red Bull. Talk to us about some of those concepts and how they came to fruition and how they did this past summer.
Sure. So we invested $100 million into the property. We created new suites, new standard rooms. We created a carousel bar. The carousel bar is a rotating bar. It's the only bar in New Jersey. Has wonderful drinks and cocktails and a DJ. And then we had introduced the yard. The yard is the indoor-outdoor experience, and it has retractable roofs, so it's all year round. So it's not seasonal, it's all year round. So that's new, we're excited about that. We really focus on the dining level. As you said, we have the Chop House, Jerry Longo's, and other expansions. It's Red Bull, and that's on the casino floor. So when you go to the dining on the 6th, you know, you can go to the different restaurants and the different bars. We have the VIP lounge for our hotel Play Reward guest. So lots of opportunities to, you know, have a cocktail and have a steak or some fun food. So it's fun. It's a great experience.
It is an excellent experience, and I can recommend all those restaurants Diane just mentioned. One of, again, my favorites is Jerry Longo's Meatballs and Martinis. The meatball salad there is amazing, and whether it's the DJ and it's that Philly vibe. I don't know. Yes. It's just a cool place to eat and drink and hang out, and then the visuals are amazing. Now you mentioned the carousel bars. Give us a little detail about that. I know you did explain it, but let folks know. I get so many questions, whether it's on the radio show or out here. Tell us about that.
Sure. When you walk in, there's 24 seats around the bar, and you pull up and you have a seat and you have a cocktail, and then the bar rotates, takes 11 minutes. Some people feel it's too fast, some people feel it's too slow, but when you sit there, you can see the hotel lobby, you spin around to the casino floor, so it's you get to see everything just by sitting there in one spot.
Right. Definitely worth checking out and everything out there. Just there recently with some friends and Showtime, Next Generation Boxing. Mm-hmm. You guys are doing a little bit of everything. I mean, you got some entertainment going on now, Bally's, the boxing. How did that turn out?
Boxing was great. Yeah. You know, before we took over the property, they didn't have any entertainment for 14 years. Mm-hmm. So we were excited to bring back a review show that we did last year, some entertainment, and this was our first boxing event, and it really performed well.
We had such a great time there. Again, I can only imagine what it's going to be like moving forward into 2022, winter, and into the spring of 23. So we have this Atlantic City Restaurant Week. This show is actually themed that way. Mm-hmm. Tell us some of your offerings and your experiences with Restaurant Week, Diane.
I love Restaurant Week. It's an opportunity.
Yes,
it does. You know, it brings out locals. It brings in visitors. So it's the opportunity you can get a room, stay overnight, and experience really the city. And that's what it's about, driving people to the city, not just one location. So we're excited to be a part of the Restaurant Week with all the others.
Yeah, and some of the restaurants that are going to be featured. I see Red Bull and the Yard. So are the offerings up already, what they're going to be serving, or how's that work?
Yes, that's on our website, and you can visit at ballysac.com. And there's lunch offerings, there's dinner offerings, the Yard, and Red Bull 88, which is just located off the casino floor. So you get that Asian Pacific flair as well as, New England clam chowder or a sandwich at the yard. So it's exciting.
One of the great things about your property also is the diversity of the different type of foods, and I think it's part of Atlantic City too. And mind you, folks, I want to tell you, it's not just Atlantic City Restaurant Week. There's other restaurants in the county that are participating, but we're talking with Bally's Atlantic City right now. And again, you have so many different type of food offerings and entertainment there. What do you see as far as moving forward? And we'll drop back to Restaurant Week again. The yard, football season, has it been converted? I don't want to say converted, but have you seen that audience start coming in? And
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think with the yard is it's a bunch of different things, and it grows as each week we learn something about it. So we started as a beer hall, so we have a beer hall. Then we have a restaurant, then becomes a nightclub, and it becomes a place to watch football. It's a place to hang on Saturdays afternoon to play cornhole. So it's a little bit it's something for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's well received.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, right off the boardwalk on the historic Atlantic City boardwalk, the first of its kind, the longest of its kind, and it's a great use of that space. And remember talking with Phil and you, and we're going to do this and that. And I'm trying to envision. I'm like, this is so cool. Mm-hmm. The music. How was that received this past summer? I mean, there was a lot of music. You had music inside, I believe, or DJs, yes. And then also on the outdoor too, correct?
Yes, correct. So we have duos that are still playing outdoors on the weekends, and you have your nightlife from 11 to 2 a.m. So indoor-outdoor bands, and you can open up the windows, the roof, so it's really all year-round fun.
So there you go, folks. Make sure you get your tails out to Bally's Atlantic City. Lots of great things happening there. Spent some time in one of the rooms when you guys redid the rooms. Are beautiful. Mm-hmm. The visuals, that building, it just resonates with so much of Atlantic City. It has sentiment, you know what I mean? And when you said the 14 years that there was no entertainment or whatnot, I'm like, holy smokes, I mean, so you're bringing it back in a big way, and we really appreciate you. Let the folks know again very quickly, if you don't mind, Restaurant Week and that website.
Yes, so Restaurant Week, come see us. You can dine at Red Bull 88 or The Yard, and you can visit us at ballysac.com.
There you go, ballysac.com, Atlantic City Restaurant Week. One of the things we do here is we always try to ask, give us one of your favorite Atlantic City stories. Don't mean to put you on the spot. We are at Stockton University, so I don't know if it's PG or whatever. So go ahead, Diane.
It's PG. So very young, we will come down with my family, and my grandmother was a singer, and she was an entertainer at the Aaron. So that on, whether you call it Arkansas or Arkansas, that's where that's where she performed at the Aaron Bar. So I have lots of great memories, and the $1 Million Pier and the boardwalk. So, when I looked out at Bally's, when I started working there, I looked at the pier, which was the $1 Million Pier, and I thought that's where we used to go. Or I sat there on the beach with my family. So very warm-hearted memories.
Awesome. I couldn't have said it any better. That's great. See it by the warmth in your smile when you talk about those memories. Folks, been talking with Diane Spiers of Bally's Atlantic City. We'll be right back with our next guest. Stay right where you're at. Welcome back to the show. Our next guests are Harrison Williams, head bartender, Rhythm and Spirits, and Nicole Callazzo, manager, Bar 32 Chocolate. Folks, these two here bring it when it comes to food, desserts, wines, drinks. Nicole, welcome to the show.
Hi, Mike.
Let the folks know a little bit about yourself.
Well, I used to be a stay-at-home mom, and now I'm working at Bar 32 making chocolate and giving everybody nice treats.
There you go. And it's a great spot, and we're going to talk much more about that Bar 32. Harrison, listen, welcome to the show, my man.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got yourself involved with these Callazzos out here.
So I started bartending at Harrah's in 2016, and the only bosses I've had since I've moved down here were our general manager, Antoine Holt, and Lee Sanchez, Mark Callazzo's partner.
Yep.
So I left Harrah's in 2019, jumped ship, and I came with Lee. It's all been history from there. And stuck with the Callazzos ever since.
And listen, you guys are doing a great job. Mark has been a guest on the radio and the TV show a few times, and what you're doing out there in Tennessee Avenue is phenomenal. I remember gosh, I guess it was maybe 6, 7 years ago. I'm not sure. I'm not supposed to date myself, whatever. But I remember being at a meeting at City Hall, and Mark was there and a few others, and they're talking about Tennessee Avenue and this, that. And I gave him the rock eye. I'm like, is this guy, you know, like, are you serious? What you have done is phenomenal. We're going to talk more about that, but we thank you for doing what you're doing. And others, take a lesson of what they're doing out there in Tennessee and New York Avenue and that orange loop. So Harrison, again, we got some unique things going on this week, and some new stuff coming up right after Restaurant Week. So we got Atlantic City Restaurant Week. Tell us what you'll be doing there, what type of stuff you'll be mixing up at Rhythm and Spirits and Tennessee Avenue and whatnot. Don't mean to put you on the spot, but let us know what's going on, bro.
You're good. The 4 restaurants all have specials. Bar 32 has a 3-course dessert special, which is absolutely phenomenal, and everything's homemade by Mrs. Callazzo over here. Cuzzy's Pizza has lunch specials all day from 11 to 8, absolutely phenomenal. Rhythm and Spirits has a 3-course dinner special, and then Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall has lunch specials and dinner specials for Restaurant Week.
For Restaurant Week. And tell us a little bit about the vibe for the folks that haven't been in Rhythm and Spirits. What are they going to walk into when they walk in through those doors?
Probably the coolest restaurant in South Jersey.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really neat how you walk through that door and it's like you're transported. We have an amazing secret garden. The bar is phenomenal. We have great whiskey selection, a phenomenal wine selection, thanks to Mark Callazzo.
Yeah.
Is a big wine person. The food is outrageous. Chef Kevin does a great job. We have the best pork chop in Atlantic City.
I can vouch for that.
Yes, absolutely phenomenal. Bar 32 is just as great. You walk through the door, it's like a speakeasy, smiling faces everywhere. So,
I love it. And Nicole, talk to us a little bit about Bar 32. You've been so kind to some of the people that I've worked with, whether it's Miss New Jersey, over at resorts, bringing bags and whatnot, and those girls, I shouldn't call them girls, those young ladies love that. They look forward to that deer. Tell us some of the unique things that you're doing there and what people can experience when they walk through those doors.
So we're a bean to bar chocolate shop. I believe we're the only one in New Jersey. So we literally get the beans from all around the world and we make everything right in-house. So literally from the bean to the bar and the grinders, the roasters, all that kind of stuff. We do everything right there. So that's an experience in itself, and we explain that to everyone when they come in. For Restaurant Week specifically, we'll do a 3-course dessert, which is starting out with a wine pairing and a chocolate pairing. And then we do a dessert and specialty cocktail, and all of our desserts and cocktails have a chocolate component to them. And then we'll do a special bar at the end that we're going to be doing exclusively for Restaurant Week. So it'll be really nice, and everybody will hopefully really enjoy it.
Some of my best meals have been spent on Tennessee Avenue, whether I get fancy with the little foo-foo at Bar 32, chocolate. Listen, one of my favorite, I don't know if it's on the menu or not, and I don't mean to put that out there either, is that bacon. But when you do the bacon, that's on the menu, the regular menu, and the chocolate. I mean, talk to me about that. I need to learn a little bit.
So we have a lot of, most of our desserts are sweet, but we do have a couple of savory dessert, and that is our Newski's bacon, and it's a thick cut bacon, and we give you a little chocolate on the side so you can either dunk it or just drizzle it right on top. But either way, it's amazing, and everybody raves about it. It has a little gold leaf on it too, which is kind of fun. Makes it a little fancy.
Right.
Well, the men don't mind eating it that way. They're like, oh, I don't mind having this. The wife has chocolate and I get my bacon.
Bacon, right. I had an aunt when growing up, and she would, Mary, God bless you, she would always say anytime there was bacon being made in the house, right, it's a holiday. I don't know what it meant, but I was like, all right, just like put it between some bread or whatnot. So we got Cuzzy's. We got Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall also participating in Restaurant Week, correct? What is Cuzzy's going to be offering? Same sort of menu or pizza?
Same sort of menu. You're going to start off with the salad, then you're going to start off with, we have a couple sandwich options, and then you're going to finish off with a brownie from Bar 32.
So you got the best of both worlds right there. And again, folks, I tell you this, again, listen to me when I'm telling you. It's all right next to each other. They're all directly in the same area. Tennessee Avenue, what are we going to be having there?
So after Restaurant Week, we're going to be doing our Perfect 10 Fest, which we did one last year for the first time. This year is going to be a little bit different. Last year, I'm not supposed to date myself.
That's right.
We blocked off the street and did everything last year. This time we're going to do it a little bit differently, and we're going to have 10 different events going on in between all 4 places. So we're going to have musicians. We're going to do a wine and chocolate pairing. We have Frank Sinatra night and original Iron Room dinner going on in the Secret Garden. Beer Hall's got a lot of entertainment and a lot of fun stuff going on, and yoga in the morning and a little bit of everything. So it's going to be a great day.
And that's going to be after Atlantic City Restaurant Week.
It's the Saturday after Restaurant Week, correct?
And Oktoberfest, Harrison, I hear that's coming too
Yes,
to Tennessee
Oktoberfest
Avenue.
at Beer Hall. It's going to be October 1st and 2nd, I believe. And they're going to have lunch specials that are inspired by German food and specials on German imported beer.
Love it. This Puerto Rican will be there eating
That's
as
it.
much German food as possible. I love it. Listen, what you've been doing, again, I touched on in the beginning of the interview, on Tennessee Avenue has been wonderful. I see people, I'm on the boardwalk all the time, coming from the boardwalk to the establishments now, and vice versa. People are discovering Atlantic City. And we spoke before about this, the diversity in different type of foods, whether it's Rhythm and Spirits, Bar 32, or Vietnamese restaurants. That's what's so unique about Atlantic City. I believe in a small little town, 48 blocks. We've got about 30 seconds each. What is your favorite food story or something that you've been doing in Tennessee Avenue?
I'll let you go first.
Probably the life-changing experience I got from having our pork chop. I mean, I do, like I keep saying it, it's just the best. That thick cut heritage pork chop with the loaded mashed potatoes, broccoli rabe.
You got to try that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling
Yes.
you folks. You got to try that. Nicole, thank you so much. I don't mean to put
Thank
you on the
you.
spot. You got a little something?
Oh my goodness, there's so many different things I love, so I'm not really sure.
It's okay. It's okay. Listen, make sure, folks, you get out to Tennessee Avenue, Rhythm and Spirits, Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall, Bar 32 Chocolate, Cuzzy's Pizzeria, ACRestaurantWeek.com. And you got Perfect 10 Fest, Oktoberfest. Tell them AC Mike sent you. Hope to see you out there soon. Folks, stay right where you're at. We'll be right back. Hey folks, it's our belief here at the Mike Lopez TV Show that you, the viewers, and our guests bring the show to life. Thanks to each and every one of you for joining us. To learn more about AC Mike, go to acmikeNJ.com and follow me on Facebook at Mike Lopez, LiveWorkPlayAC, and on Instagram at ACMikeNJ. Remember to live, work, play AC, and I'll see you on the 48.